2, 1.
Isn't St. Patrick's Day awesome?
I'm like having the best time ever. It's so fun.
Like there are people walking by now.
Party, you know, I get uncomfortable with things. So like, there are a lot of people here. Like, is it just us? Or, like...
I mean, for now, I invited like 12 people on Facebook, and they said maybe. So, just have to see. It probably means yes. It usually means yes. I mean, usually people come to my parties when I invite them to my parties. You know, I mean, that's just not something that wouldn't normally happen. I invite people to my parties and then they don't come. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was looking at the Facebook wall, and I mean, this one guy, he commented and he said, "Let's just get drunk tonight." I was a little put off by it, but I was like, okay, why not? So I came over.
One life to live, you know, right? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, for reals.
You know, I run a knitting club every Wednesday after school if you'd like to come.
No. You know, I'm going to let you in on this because you're a novice partier. And I've been going to lots of parties. There's a handbook. All right?
Oh, wow.
And the very first thing it says on the very first page of the partying handbook is, "My water broke." Okay? So you always have to prepare for the absolute worst.
I have the first aid kit in my purse just in case. I know how to sew a wound.
I think the gauze will be helpful as well.
So, are your parents home, or like, I'm just a little nervous. Like, I wasn't really expecting to just, you know, be alone or whatever.
I don't think you should be nervous.
I read my Bible passage before I came over today. I feel very protected by the Lord. I think I should be nervous.
No,
It's my favorite passage. Actually, it says, quote, "Never mind. We'll talk about this after we shave our beards."
They had lots of beards.
Sure. Okay. I moisturize with aloe vera every day.
It looks like you shaved your beard already. Okay, come in. Shave my beard.
Cool.
You know, that's the first. That's on the second page of the party manual. The very first thing it says on the second page of the party manual when it's talking about shaving beards. You know, you just gotta read it, and it says, "Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight."
Hey, dude. So like, my mom's always like, "Hey, you should like totally graduate from college." And I'm always like, "Hey, mom, like, no." So like, I don't know. I was like going over like my transcripts and whatever, and I've been to like 4 colleges like within the year. Cause like, I mean, like, it's so dumb. Like, seriously, like, I'm just like, "Hey, admissions, like, what's up, guys? Like, can I sign up for this class?" And they're like, "You can take a prerequisite." And I'm just like, I don't even know what that means, okay? Just back off my face. So, anyway, I was like, I called my mom, and I was like, "Hey, mom, I'm going to Taco Bell really fast." It's like, I'm just really stressed out, and I, like, need my burrito, like, okay? So I'm, like, driving my car, and I'm like, thinking this over, right? I'm like really thinking about it, like more than I've thought in like 2 years.
They call me Luke the Rat. I'm known for my abilities to acquire things that people didn't want that you might want. And people say, "Oh, what's your profession?" And I say, "I'm a finder of goods." And they're like, "Luke, why you got such long gloves and why do you smell funky all the time?" I say, "Finder goods is a dirty world." Well, it's besides the point because, see, I've made a living for my family being able to do such amazing things as find rings that people didn't want because the diamonds fell off at the ring. I've been able to find partially used hygiene products, but hey, put it on the sink, put some chloride on it, it's all the same, right? That's my philosophy anyways. My family doesn't
University. I deal with the following: petty larceny, major larceny, kind of sorta larceny, robo-tripping, robo-tussage, robo-tripping again, K2, marijuana, cocaine, speed cocaine, speed-a-wana, and Tylenol.
Whatever, you birthed me, I'm done, I'm out, whatever. So like, whatever, I was like really hungry and like, I don't have a place to go, but like, I've lived in bands before, like, because I want to. So, yeah, I mean, whatever, I was kind of walking down the street with my classy satchel that I still had as one of my belongings that I held on to, you know, remember the good days or whatever. And so I'm like walking down the road, right? And I'm like, hey, like a dumpster, let's like dive in this shit, right?
So I'm at work. I'm looking at a remote location, so you can call me a consultant. Oh, good. But anyways, I'm at work, and this broad comes tumbling in out of nowhere. And I think she said, dude. I don't actually remember anything else she said, just dude. That's all I remember her saying. Said something about being kicked out and eating food and hating admissions. And I kind of showed her the ropes, because she seemed a little bit lost. And, you know, I gave her some food and showed her how to make hygiene products not used. And if they are used, how to make them look like other things and sell at the thrift store. You nice girl, a little bit daffy though, kind of dumb girl.
At 2:34 p.m., I was exiting the premises of my local Taco Bell, and I happened upon a delinquent pair in the back on the dumpster. One such was one of my former parolees. I consulted her at 5:45 p.m., waited 3 hours because I'm kind of shy on the inside, but don't like showing it. To confront her on why she is in fact in a dumpster now when our parole system should have saved her. She refused all of my questions and instead threw a used diaper at me.
Endless Taco Bell in dumpsters. Am I right? Okay, so like this one guy is like cool. He's from like Australia or like France or like Africa. I like didn't really study my maps or whatever. It's like cool. Ignorance is bliss, right? So like it's fine. So I'm like diving around, like talking about life and stuff, like having a great time, right? And so like then like my parole officer, Officer Jenkins, is like, I'm shy, but I don't like to show it. I don't show you my badge and scare you. And I was like, dude, like, have a burrito, like, we're all friends here. I like, refused, because I had, like, flies on it or something, and I was like, this is the real world, man, okay? Like, you're privileged, like, I'm not. It's like, fine. Like, disregard the satchels, okay? So, like, we're fishing around, and this guy comes at me, right? He comes at me, and I'm just like, new bro, defend me, am I right? Defend me.
So we can talk about the dumpster, talking about hygiene products, and I'm trying to translate the hell she's saying. And this burly man comes out of nowhere. He seems shy, but he only had one tone of voice. It kind of was like a yell. He comes at her, and apparently some kind of pause, and he tries to like get her, and she says, defend me. And first of all, it's the first thing I actually understood precisely too. So I was a bit confused, and I didn't really know my defenses because I'm more of a consultant. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I can't use, there's a smokescreen defense I used in school, and you pick your cigarette and you run away like a little girl. So I have my Taco Bell bag already filled with goodies and partially used hygiene products. I flipped my cigarette and got all that.
So it was just me and my former parolee facing off once again. I told her she needed to go into the station for more auditing, but she refused. She said, "No, we don't need to, man. Laws are just like laws, and you don't have to do that." And I said, "Yes, I do, ma'am. It is part of my description as a payroll officer." So she came at me and then tried to use her sexual charms to get me. But I refused because I knew that she would have to be hit with the full force of the law.
See?